Today, it's Torrent Day.
Ginger Runner.
What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another Ginger Runner review. Before we even get into this thing, I want to recognize that this week is the 5th annual Ginger Runner Global Run. It's been taking place for the last few days. It has a few more days left. We've got almost 16,000 miles of running logged up to this point, hundreds of thousands of feet of vert. I think we're actually about 1 million feet of vert accumulated by all of our runners. It's amazing. You can go check out the results at rungrgr.com that are sort of playing out in real time. There's still a few days left too. So shout out to all the runners participating this year. Y'all earned it. And now let's get into the review. Today we're going to be talking about a shoe that is the second version of one of my favorite trail shoes from a few years ago. From Hoka One One, it is the Torrent 2. Too Torrent, Too Furious. So this shoe is the follow-up, as I mentioned, to one of my favorite trail shoes from a few years ago, the Hoka One One Torrent. A reminder that these shoes were provided by Running Warehouse for review. I can say whatever the hell I want about them. That's what I plan on doing, so let's get into it. What I've loved about the Torrents is that they are essentially a reduced platform, responsive, fast mid-soled, low profile, and super grippy trail running shoe. It's great for both race environments and those speed workout days or days when you really just want to shred. I believe I called the original Torrent the non-Hoka Hoka, highlighting the fact that these shoes are lower profile, giving you lots of ground feel versus overall mass and ground protection that we see from a lot of Hokas, where the emphasis is on mass stack height. So good news about the Hoka One One Torrent 2 is that it doesn't change much. We actually have a very similar shoe to the first version, which is a good thing. Really the biggest change comes in the upper. We still have a responsive yet comfortable midsole, tons of outsole grip, but a new upper that provides a bit more comfort, long-term fit, and overall durability. Ultimately, is the new Torrent 2 a better version than the first? Or does it suffer the same fate that a lot of follow-up shoes suffer from, which is they changed too much or they did something different? We're going to find out in today's review. I like to talk about the things I like and dislike about a product, starting, as always, with things that I like. The upper. So this is really where this shoe is different, and I like the changes because the new upper is more durable than the original. I remember actually getting a few little seam breakages here on the instep of the original Torrents. There's definitely some fraying going on with the upper, but the new upper tends to hold up a lot better. I have nearly 100 miles in this shoe. Everything is looking really good. It still has that welded overlay along the perimeter of the midsole connection point, so you're getting plenty of durability. It may not be as breathable or as soft on foot, but at the expense of those qualities, the new upper does provide some more durability. So I just want to highlight that I am enjoying the new upper, and I think it is a proper change in the right direction. Same Z's. The Torrent 2 is very similar to the Torrent 1, so you're going to get a lot of the same characteristics that we came to love in that first version. And honestly, when it comes to ground feel and overall shoe feel, it is just so similar. So the dynamics really haven't changed. My consensus of this being the non-Hoka Hoka, where you're getting more ground feel and lower profile, that stays the same. When you have such a good original shoe and the follow-up shoe doesn't change much, so you still have that good quality shoe, I like to point that out. I feel like so often we see shoe manufacturers change multiple things on a follow-up shoe, and it ends up just changing the dynamics completely. Here we have a very similar shoe to the original, which I loved, and I love this one. Weight. So this is another thing that I want to highlight. The shoe has lost some weight. Not a lot, but enough for me to truly notice. The original weighed in for me just at about 308 grams. The new, right around 293. It equates to about a half an ounce change. I will point out, though, that the Torrent now displays its numbers and characteristics here along the instep. They claim that it weighs 270 grams, but in my size 11, it is not the case. It's about 23 grams heavier than that. Bold writing your numbers on the instep of the shoe when they may not necessarily meet that on the consumer level. That being said, it is not all barbecues and strawberry shortcake. There are a couple of things that I dislike about the Torrent 2. Let's get to those. Comfort. Now this is gonna be really, really nitpicky. There is a bit of difference between the overall midsole comfort between the first version and the second version. Again, if you really have to wear these side by side, go for a run and swap the shoes, that sort of thing, to really notice it. But the original felt a little bit softer. Even after hundreds of miles, the shoe just felt a little bit different underfoot. The overall dynamics of the shoe are very, very similar to the first. So if you are used to the original Torrent, you're not going to find yourself out of place in the Torrent 2. But I did notice that there's just a slight life difference in that midsole. Could be different manufacturers or a different factory wherever they're sourcing that EVA, but that's what I noticed. And the upper, I mentioned how much I like it, and I do. I think it is an improvement. There are a couple aspects of it that are a bit of a detriment and do step back. And that comes in the thickness of the upper. So this new mesh upper is multi-layered. You can actually feel the thickness and you can squish it between your fingers. The original was much more breathable. This new stuff is thicker, therefore it's hotter, and it doesn't quite disappear on your foot like the original did when you're in a race environment or you're out there for long days on the trails. Again, I like the new upper. It's just some little nitpicky things that I wanted to point out with it. Which is actually it for my dislikes. So in conclusion, I think that the Torrent 2 from Hoka One One is a fantastic follow-up to the original. I loved the original. I used it a lot in race environments. Man, I miss racing. And those fast training days where your goal is to try to pick up the pace. So the Torrent 2 fits into those realms. And when you have an outsole with so many beautiful thick lugs like this, it's going to provide you with plenty of confidence on all types of terrain, from muddy to technical. So it is a great all-around workhorse shoe if you're looking for something on that reduced platform. I'm going to liken it a lot to the Salomon Sense Ride 3, maybe a little bit of Topo Mountain Racer in there. Oof, maybe some Saucony Peregrine, but overall, the shoe kicks ass. Let's get a little bit more specific. Build quality. I think this is an improved build over the first version because I'm not getting as much wear through as I was in the first. The upper is holding up better than the original. The welded overlays aren't peeling away. The midsole is, holding up pretty well too. And of course, the outsole, this rubber is doing quite well. Not noticing a ton of wear and tear on that. Comfort, as I mentioned, is not quite on par with version 1. That midsole, it feels so similar, but there's just a difference in comfort, where the first version might be a little bit softer underfoot, maybe better for just those longer days in the saddle. But the Torrent 2 works fantastic in a race or speed environment, where going fast is the goal. Fit, I think that the fit is improved. One thing I had a problem with in the first version was trying to get the lacing down. Once the shoe started to break in, that upper really did begin to stretch, so finding a good proper fit was the most difficult part of the shoe experience. The Torrent 2 improves upon that with that new upper. So I'm getting a better fit out of it, much more precise, precision fit, not a ton of width through there, not a lot of volume, just to let you know how the fit works. Price at $120, I think it's a pretty well-priced shoe. You're gonna get a lot of miles out of it, hundreds of miles. And I think for that price point, it's still pretty damn good. If you can find the original on sale somewhere, good luck. But if you can, snag it. I do think the Torrent 2 is a great follow-up, and I think the price is right on. Now finally, looks. I don't think that this is the best looking colorway of the new Torrent 2. There are some better looking shoes, but I like the looks of the original. I do enjoy the looks of the sequel, so yeah, they're fine. Bringing us to our final criteria, is the Torrent 2 a buy, try, or a why? I'm gonna label this one a buy, especially if you're looking to go fast and you're looking for plenty of grip on technical trails with a little bit of protection, but really good ground feel. This is that shoe, and from Hoka, which is known for having thicker midsoles, bigger stack heights, and more protection underfoot, the Torrent is sort of that anti-Hoka Hoka, which is really nice to see from the manufacturer. So I'm a fan. This is a buy from me. Which brings us to the end of our review. This shoe has been out for a while now. I'm curious how many of you have got a chance to try it or wearing it. If you have, let us know in the comments below what you think of the Torrent 2. If you have more questions, you want to find out more information, or you want to get a pair for yourself, I have links in the description. They're affiliate links to take you over to Running Warehouse. They cost you nothing, but they do help the channel out. So consider using them if you are looking to grab a pair of this or any shoes, really, for yourself. That's it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you like this review, make sure you like, favorite, subscribe, click the notification bell, all that good stuff. You'll be updated anytime a new video is posted to this channel. And of course, social media links over there. You can just go and follow across the board. At the bottom, patreon.com/thegingerrunner. That is how we keep the lights on, the mics hot here. We've been doing live streams every single day, so you can go find really fun discussions. We're at almost 100 days of discussions here where you can have so much content to go back and watch if you would like to do that. It helps the channel out as well. And that's pretty much my pitch. Thank you, everybody. And a big shout out to everyone who's participating in the Ginger Runner Global Run. It is blowing our minds what you guys are doing out there. Again, like, we're about to run around the world, 24,901 miles. We're going to reach that goal in the next couple of days. So it's mind-blowing. So thanks everyone for participating who's out there doing that. And you're supporting great businesses and some of our favorite artists in the process. It's really cool. All right, get out there, train as hard as you can, virtually race harder, and party the hardest. We'll see you guys next week. Okay, bye-bye.